So to bring the recovery and resilience facility perspective, just let me briefly recall what the facility is. It's a performance-based instrument at the heart of Next Generation EU, which is the 800 billion plan for Europe's recovery. It's a quite unique instrument, first because it's performance-based, and second because it's a unique mix of investment and reforms, which by which member states are asked to address their so-called country-specific recommendations, so the recommendations that the Council issues each year, and to increase digital transition with at least 20% of the investments, and to accelerate the green transition with at least 37% of the investment. Another unique feature is the short duration of the instrument. It has to be implemented by 2026, so speed is of the essence. And speaking of speed, all 27 plans are firmly in place. 3 plans have even been already revised. I'm speaking about Luxembourg, Germany, and Finland. And the Commission has disbursed already 144 billion euros in support, both in pre-financing and grants and loans. To zoom in on Romania, Romania's plan is quite ambitious. It contains 64 reforms and 107 investments financed by 12.1 billion in grants and 14.9 billion in loans. All these reforms have a transformative impact, are expected to have a transformative impact on Romania's economy and society, since they, as I said, address Romania's specific challenges. So, speaking of green investment, 41% of the investments are devoted to the green transition, going from sustainable transport to decarbonization of industry to, as we have heard in the previous panel, quite substantive investment in renewables, while 21% more or less are devoted to the digitalization of Romania economy and society, again going from the public administration, healthcare, and education. And then we have other reforms to improve the effectiveness of the public administration, including state-owned enterprises, fight against corruption, and so on and so forth. So where are we at now in terms of implementation of Romania's plan? It's 1.5 years into implementation. Romania has so far received 6.3 billion euros from the Commission, 3.7 between the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022 in the form of pre-financing, while 2.6 already as a result of the assessment of the first payment request in October last year. And at the end of last year, as Romania has already submitted its second payment request for a value of 3.2 billion euros, which is currently under assessment. A brief word on that. Normally, the assessment takes 2 months, but it's not uncommon. It happens in many cases that, as it is the case for this payment request, the Commission and the Member State agree to extend the deadline for assessing it when complex evidence has to be provided and then assessed. A brief word on what's next, and then I close. What's next we heard in the previous panel, actually. Secretary of State Dragan told already a couple of times that the aggression of Russia by Russia against Ukraine has highlighted the need to accelerate the green transition. Immediately in the wake of that, on the 8th of March last year, the Commission adopted the so-called REPowerEU plan, and recently the REPowerEU regulation at the end of last month entered into force. So what's next is basically the additional chapters to the recovery resilience plans, which are the REPowerEU chapters, to which we are looking forward to foster and accelerate the green transition. And what's next, of course, is the full implementation of the plan that has already been agreed and that's already in place. As I said, all of this has to happen by 2026, so speed is of the essence.
Thank you.